All right, here's a real question that we get all the time. How much do I actually need to retire comfortably in coastal Volusia County? And when I say coastal Volusia County, I'm talking about the areas that we cover, like New Smyrna Beach, Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, and of course, Edgewater. Okay, because this isn't just about the house price. It's about your true monthly cost to live here comfortably with insurance, taxes, HOA fees, maintenance, and lifestyle. All right, so in this video, we're gonna break down 4 different things. We're gonna break down how much money you need to live in New Smyrna Beach using stats from bestplaces.net, the real cost category retirees overlook, this is super important, the hidden expenses that matter in coastal Florida, and then we're gonna look at what a $500,000 house, a $1 million house, and a $5 million house can realistically look like in our market. And if you're relocating and you want help to map out the best places based on lifestyle, beachside, mainland, boating, walkability, or maintenance, reach out anytime. Hey there, if you're new to the channel, you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas, and you have come to the right place. My name is Matt Ecoff. This is my beautiful wife, Rachel Ecoff. We are local real estate experts, and we're here to share everything from the best neighborhoods to the hottest spots around town. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas. All right, so part 1, we're calling it the big idea, okay? Let's start with the truth. Florida is a popular retirement destination for a reason. Obviously, we talk about this in all of our videos. But coastal Volusia is its own thing. And we say all the time that this is not cheap Florida, this is lifestyle Florida, okay? And so, all right, but I want to tell you there's some very interesting and surprising cost of living stats that I want to read to you according to bestplaces.net. The average family needs $7,140 a month or $85,680 a year, which is 32.2% higher than the national average.
Oh, wow.
That is for families. The surprising part, and this is a huge surprise to me, is that for single or retired people, the monthly cost of living drops to $3,967 or $47,600 a year, which is 16.8% less than the national average. That is huge and extremely surprising. Extremely surprising.
Yeah, so when you're saying for a single person or a single retired person or a retired couple?
A retired couple.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that's really important.
Yeah, it's really important, but that's huge.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read something directly from them. According to bestplaces.net, it says New Smyrna Beach, Florida gets bestplaces.net's cost of living score of 94.9, which means that the total cost of housing, food, childcare, transportation, healthcare, taxes, and other necessities is 5.1% lower than the U.S. national average and 8% lower than the average in Florida. That, for a coastal town, and there's not that many coastal towns, and there's surely not that many barrier islands, 8% lower than the entire state and 5.1% lower than the nation is a crazy stat to me, and something that I don't think people realize, because people say all the time, oh, this was a pipe dream, we thought this was a pipe dream, and then we start looking at places and they're like, holy crap, we can buy this for that. And and we have people especially from California, New Jersey, New York, especially those people that say, wow, food isn't that expensive down here. The cost of living isn't that expensive down here. It's so surprising that things are as cheap as they are down here. And so now we actually have the stats according to bestplaces.net.
Cool,
so,
okay.
Yeah, pretty awesome. All right, and so since this video is regarding retiring in coastal Volusia County, let's talk about, so for most retirees, housing is going to be that biggest line item, right? It's not just the mortgage. This is coastal Florida, so big variables are going to be things that we always talk about, like insurance, especially wind and flood related. We have HOA and condo fees, depending on, if they decide they want, beachside condo or house. Maintenance, salt air is real, so things age a lot faster here than normal. And then lifestyle spending. I mean, this is a big one. This is big for us. It's big for everybody that we know.
Dining out, golfing, boating,
clubs, travel, things like that. Yes. Yeah. All right. So if you're thinking, look, I can afford the house, Matt, that's great. But we want you thinking like a retiree with a long runway, where your money is going to be going, and not just you can afford the house. So can I afford the house and the lifestyle long term without any surprises? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. All right, which brings us into part 2, which is the core cost buckets. 5 things that you need to plan for. Okay, this is important. So cash versus mortgage. This is important. Some retirees buy cash, some take small mortgages to keep more cash invested. We are getting ready to do a video with Faith Adams and a certified financial planner about why buying cash isn't always the right idea. We're getting ready to do that. We're actually setting up and doing the stats right now. So this is real important.
So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that, because that's going to be a real big one. But we got to have all the ducks have to be in the row on that. I got to know everything that I'm talking about. So look, some retirees buy cash, some take out small mortgages to keep more cash invested. This is your preference. Neither is a right or wrong. This is just strategy for you. But here's what changes everything. If you're mortgage free, you can allocate thousands per year to things like travel, healthcare, family visits, hobbies, or just complete peace of mind. All right, so let's talk about number 2, which is insurance. Don't guess, plan. This is always really, really, really important. Insurance is one of the biggest, wait, what kind of things that I get from people.
Yeah.
Especially for coastal buyers. So
I think it's one of the biggest questions you get asked, other than sharks and alligators.
And floods.
Floods.
Yeah, is the insurance cost.
Is next in line.
Absolutely. So we're not just talking about homeowners insurance here, okay? We're, depending on the property and the location, we may be considering wind coverage, we may be considering flood considerations. If you fall outside of flood zone X or X500, those are the two we always want to look for. Condo master policies, if you're looking to move in a condo, and then deductibles that feel different than other states, because there's not a regular deductible with a flood claim, for example. It's usually, depending on your insurance company, it's usually a percentage of the value of the home that they come up with. So on a big flood insurance claim. So these are all things that you have to consider. We got to do our due diligence on. The key is, do not buy a home and then hope that the insurance works out. Okay, that is not the right thing. The smart plan is to get rough insurance quotes early.
Yeah.
Understand deductibles and evaluate property risk profile realistically, and that's something I can absolutely help you out with.
I'd also say that shop insurance every year, because it's changing and we do it every year.
Yep, we saved, you did it this year. You saved $5,500 for us for the year.
Yeah.
With the exact same policy, just with another program. So
yeah, so really, really important.
All right, so number 3, we're going to talk about HOA and condo fees. Now, HOA fees can be anywhere from barely there to whoa. I have a condo right now that I think is listed beautifully. It's $739,000. It is 1,600 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, fully furnished, looks gorgeous. 5200 South Atlantic Avenue, unit 626, if you want to look at it. 3 balconies, over 1,000 square feet of balcony space, all of them overlooking the ocean. It is oceanfront, ocean direct, but I cannot sell the freaking place because the HOAs are $1,800 a month.
And that's a whoa.
Is a lot. That is a whoa, wait kind of moment. Yeah. And that is the number one reason I'm having a hard time selling this thing. So HOA fees are real. They can be whoa, or they can be barely there. So also beachside condos and condotels can have higher fees because they cover exterior maintenance, they cover amenities, they cover reserves, and most of the time they cover cable, internet, water, sewer, and gas also. And then also staffing on-site management takes a small fee, because most of those on-site management take a fee of rental if they're in the rental pool.
So just really know what you're getting into. Make sure you ask all the questions and really be prepped for HOA fees if you are choosing a condo or even a neighborhood that has an HOA.
Absolutely, because the purchase price can look great, but the monthly carrying costs are really what matter. All right, which brings us into number 4, which is maintenance in a coastal town. Now, salt air, humidity, storms, coastal living is amazing, but it's not without zero maintenance, for sure. So
definitely,
even newer homes have upkeep. So plan on HVAC servicing monthly, get that saltwater corrosion off, exterior paint and corrosion, roof timeline, that's a big one, especially for insurance costs. Pool maintenance, if you decide you want to get a pool. Pest control, they call it WDO here, it's wood destroying organism, so that's important too, termites and ants and things like that. And then landscaping costs, unless you're going to do the landscaping yourself like I like to do. But don't judge me on our trees right now, because we had our huge freeze of 24 degrees for over 24 hours and everything looks dead, but it is alive, so it will be green again soon, just not right now. So don't judge me on my landscaping skills, because I do have some landscaping skills. All right, then it brings us into number 5, which is lifestyle spending. Okay, this is a big one, especially for retirees. Okay, this is the fun category, but also the sneaky one. Okay, so listen, if you move here because you love dining on Flagler Avenue or Canal Street or Dunton in Ormond Beach, you love beach days, you love boating, you love golf, you love local events, you love visiting family, that's awesome. But your retirement budget needs to reflect your actual lifestyle, not a fantasy spreadsheet.
Okay, so really you need to run the numbers for yourself and make sure that, hey, I can go out this many days a week.
Yeah.
I can really stay within this budget if we do XYZ.
And I say not a fantasy spreadsheet because I do think spreadsheets are important. You know, what is your yearly, what's your yearly spend going to be? What's that going to look like on a monthly basis? And then consider some variables here and there and just track that money. And if you have some reserves from one time, great. If you,
Yes.
you just have to track all that.
And I think you've said this in a previous video of ours, and I think this is still really true. You should come visit, you should stay for a little while, because a lot of people come down and they treat living here like they're on vacation. And that is the number one mistake I think people are making. And, when you're on vacation, you kind of throw caution to the wind and you're going to buy this and that and you're going to eat all the seafood in the world.
You're going to Outriggers and you're going to Corkscrew and all of a sudden every single meal you've eaten out, and this is not what real life's going to be like. So that's why we really wanted to talk about the lifestyle spending. All right, so this brings us into part 3, which is what does the budget get you? Now we're talking about housing here, so let's do what we came here for and talk about these 3 budgets for housing: $500,000, $1 million, and $5 million.
Okay.
This is for housing, of course. And instead of just saying you can buy a house, we're going to explain the type of retirement lifestyle those budgets can support here in coastal Volusia. Okay, so let's do a quick disclaimer. Okay, we're not quoting exact listings in this video. Markets change fast, but we are describing realistic categories and what you should expect at this certain price point.
Okay.
All right, so budget number 1, which is around $500,000. At around $500,000, you can absolutely retire here. Your experience depends on what you value most. So do you want low maintenance? Do you want proximity to the beach? Do you want new construction? Do you want a bigger yard? Do you want walkability? Because here's what $500,000 will tend to mean in coastal Volusia. Option A is you're going to have a mainland convenience plus value. Places like Port Orange and Ormond Beach and Edgewater, you're often going to get more square footage. You're going to get traditional neighborhoods. You're going to get easier parking, easier access, more everyday convenience, probably a larger yard, things like that. Okay. Option B at $500,000, coastal proximity with trade-offs. Some Daytona and New Smyrna Beach options, and depending on the property type, you might get a smaller footprint, older construction, more HOA considerations in condos, but possibly closer to the water and lifestyle hubs. But you're not going to get those bigger properties, the parking, the garage, the bigger lots, things like that.
Yeah, it's really a trade-off consideration.
Yes, for sure. All right, so what to watch at $500,000 is the monthly HOA fees. If you're moving into a condo or an HOA community, we have to consider this: your insurance cost versus the property type. Okay, if you got a condo, exterior insurance is going to be provided almost all the time, but if you have your home, you're going to have insurance costs on it. So, and then major systems, again, depending on if you're in a condo or a single family home, major systems like roof, HVAC, plumbing, things like that. So best fit for retire at $500,000, someone who wants a coastal lifestyle but values budget stability and predictable monthly costs. I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move into number 2, which is your budget that's around $1 million.
Yep.
So what does that
things
look like?
are going to change now. Your buying options are going to change. So this is where people start choosing based on lifestyle identity. Okay, that's the thing. And so in quotes, like, I want a walkable beach town charm. I want boating access. I want newer home with a pool. I want a condo with views and amenities. I want privacy. They have those options here. And at $1 million, depending on the city, you may see better renovation quality. Will probably see better location. You'll probably see better views and a more complete home, garage, pool, updated systems, things like that. Because $1 million is no joke.
Well, I would also say, though, you're talking about $1 million spent very differently mainland versus beachside.
Yes.
So I think that's something really important
put into
consideration.
It's a huge difference. You can get probably the nicest house in Sugar Mill or Venetian Bay for around $1 million.
Yes.
Where, you're going to have a big trade-off here. But let me give a real world example of a house. I'm not going to say the address, but clients that do watch us, and maybe they still watch, maybe they don't because they've already purchased here, for $1,032,000, they got a home in North Beach on North Peninsula that was a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2,200 square foot home with a 2-car garage in North Beach.
Yes.
For $1,032,000. So, they still got it's a little bit smaller a lot, but they still got a decent sized home with a 2-car garage, which is crazy in beachside,
Yes.
and and a nice house.
And they have beach access. It's probably more of like a golf cart ride to all the other amenities, but I mean, it is here in North Beach, and they got it.
But talking about beachside versus mainland, if that house was in Venetian Bay or Coastal Woods, it would be $400,000.
I absolutely agree with that.
100%. So it is the proximity to, they can get on a golf cart or an e-bike or take a walk down to Flagler Avenue, which means they can go to Canal Street. It means they can walk to the beach. So it's that trade-off. What do you want to trade? And they really wanted North Beach because there was no short-term rentals here. And so weeks like right now, which we're in Bike Week, the first week of March, it can get a little louder and it can get a little busy in Central Beach and Beachside South and some other areas that rent. So I don't want to get off subject too much because we're talking about the $1 million house, but I just wanted to give a real-world example on that. So again, at this price point, it's also going to give you some flexibility in Ponce Inlet, quiet coastal boating vibe town, also the safest city according to FBI and FDLE, safest city in the state of Florida. Daytona Beach Shores, which is going to blow up soon because Aston Martin's coming there. Check out a video that we did on an Aston Martin coming to that location. Condo lifestyle, ocean views, and free lifestyle in Daytona Beach Shores. We absolutely love Daytona Beach Shores. New Smyrna Beach, where we are here right now, it's going to get you neighborhood charm and going to get you that lifestyle. And then higher end pockets of Ormond Beach and Port Orange, $1 million is going to go a long way.
Absolutely.
Also, what to watch at $1 million, condo fees and reserve health. That's super, super, super important because you don't want this big special reserve that you weren't expecting to have. You don't want to see a continual increase in HOA fees and condo fees. Also, flood zones and insurance planning, always important, and a pretty remodel versus a quality remodel. It's because at this price point, you're going to have people that are going to buy at $500,000, $600,000 as an investment house, that house that's on South Pine that you said the other day. I cannot believe they're not tearing that down. I'm so worried what the renovation is going to look like, when it's done, and are these going to be quality renovations? So we're not looking at pretty remodel, we're looking at quality remodel. And so as a contractor myself, these are things that are important to me and things that we look at when we're looking at houses, because when you're looking at the kitchen and the living room, I'm looking at the window sills and I'm looking at the door frames and I'm looking at the HVAC and I'm looking at the roof and I'm looking at the sidewalks walking up. So
True.
Pretty remodel versus quality remodel. So what is the best fit for retirees at $1 million? Someone who wants comfort plus lifestyle plus less compromise and is fine paying for the convenience. Okay, that's the $1 million buyer. All right, that brings us into the $5 million.
5 million.
This is the big boy.
Okay.
Again, $5 million. Gotta say, there's plenty of houses you can buy for $5 million here. I don't want to say plenty. There was just a $4.4 million house that sold on Yacht Club Island. The first one of our tour that we did. At this level, you're not just buying a home though. Okay, you're buying scarcity, you're buying location, privacy, and a lifestyle that is hard to replicate. This is like
This is strategic buying.
Yes, this is absolutely strategic buying. We are looking for some clients right now that have a budget just a little bit over this, that watches our videos, and we got to be very, very intentional on everything that we're doing here. So in coastal Volusia County, $5 million is usually going to put you into a few different lanes. Okay, lane A is oceanfront, single family, we'll call it a trophy home. Okay, you're looking at things like direct oceanfront lots and custom build. You're looking at panoramic views that cannot be replaced. You're looking at resort style pools and outdoor kitchen areas and outdoor living spaces, higher end materials designed to withstand coastal conditions. These are long-term things, and typically location that's simply not making more of itself. The Lord is not making any more land, not making any more barrier island.
Right.
So the key trade-off with this oceanfront single-family trophy home, key trade-off here is that you get the full lifestyle, but you also take on the full responsibility for storm prep, premium insurance strategies, 100%, maintenance and salt air, and sometimes higher carrier costs than people expect. All right, so lane B at the $5 million budget is going to be a high-end condo with views for days and lock and leave convenience. Okay, so at $5 million, you're talking about high floor units. We're talking about premium buildings, talking about large balconies, huge balconies.
You're talking about taking up a whole floor?
Yeah, yep, penthouse for sure. Better reserves and amenities. Again, this is the building dependent and often much easier travel lifestyle because exterior maintenance is handled and it's going to be turnkey. The key trade-off though is that you're paying for convenience, and that can mean significant HOA fees. It can mean stricter rules. It can mean that you need to understand reserves, insurance, and special assessment risks.
Okay.
All right, and then let's talk about Lane C, which is, I think, my preferred. I want to hear what yours is too. And I want to hear what yours is also in the comments below. This is the intracoastal riverfront plus boating lifestyle. I hear more in New Smyrna, and I ask everybody, even people that live on the ocean and the intracoastal, what would they prefer? The houses are more expensive on the intracoastal than they are on the ocean, and people from everybody's that I've asked, there are more people that want to live on the intracoastal than want to live on the ocean. For retirees, $5 million on the intracoastal with boating lifestyle is, I want water, I want boat lifts, I want sunset views. Okay, this lane can include deep water access depending on the property. It can include docks, lifts, and boating setups. It's going to be privacy and space for sure, and a lifestyle built around a river, not just the beach. Key trade-off though with this is boating properties can have extra operating costs, things like seawalls, dock maintenance, lift upkeep. All right, and then lane D, which is the last one, this is your new construction or your fully renovated, no projects home. All right, so at $5 million, many buyers want 0 projects, okay? They want modern systems, they want hurricane rated openings, meaning they want Cat 5 doors, sliders, windows, everything like that. They want clean design and they want turnkey experience, okay? All right, so the key trade-off here is you're paying for execution quality. So you still want to verify the builder and his reputation. You still want to verify that permits are being pulled. And I can tell you this for New Smyrna Beach, I can tell you this for Ponce Inlet, I can tell you this for Ormond Beach. For sure, if you hire a contractor from another area, your permit time is going to be 2 to 3 times as long.
Yeah,
than a local builder.
We've seen it happen, and that I think is true. Local builders here know what they're doing. They're on their game, and not all local builders here. We have a select few that are really excellent and vetted, but here they're going to have easier access to things. Yeah,
and they're known. They have that reputation. And so when I say local, doesn't mean they don't have to necessarily be in another location. I'll tell you, some of the best builders have locations in Winter Park and Windermere also, but they also have offices in New Smyrna Beach, and they have staff here. So permits is a big thing. So just, you can bring in your own builder, of course, but just expect that permitting time to be twice as long. Let me say this though, this is a $5 million reality check disclaimer. Okay, this is important. Your purchase price is one thing, but your annual carrying costs can be very, very meaningful. Okay, so depending on the property type, you need to plan for insurance strategies and deductibles. Again, this is a really important thing. Specialty maintenance and materials, because there's some, at a $5 million house, you do have some specialty. You have, dual fuel systems and 2-stage air conditioning systems and higher electrical panels, and things like that. Landscaping and exterior upkeep, that's huge. I mean, we had this freeze, this a couple weeks ago that killed a lot of stuff. A lot of this stuff is going to come back. But, if you've got a big landscaping and a big property and you're on the intracoastal, you're on the ocean, that's going to be an expense. So you got to keep that in. You got to keep in your head the cost of pool service, possibly a house manager and a cleaning schedule. HOA or condo fees if they're applicable, if that's, if you're looking at a condo, and then also long-term reserve planning, again, if you're looking at a condo. So the goal at $5 million is not just can you afford it, it's does this lifestyle match how I actually want to live?
And you know what? I love that statement, and I think it's applicable to every one of the categories that you just did.
100%. How much do you need to retire here comfortably? Here's what we found out. We found out that a New Smyrna Beach for families are a little bit more expensive, but for retirees, it is less expensive, which is a huge thing because this is such a great, coastal town. It depends on several factors though in retiring here, and if it's comfortable to retire here. It's the housing strategy, cash versus mortgage, whether you want low maintenance or more space, whether you prioritize beach access and proximity, boating and convenience over mainland, and how much you plan for the real monthly costs, especially insurance and HOA. So if you're thinking about retiring or relocating to coastal Volusia County, which is all the areas that we cover, or anywhere in the state, and you want to talk about these things, please reach out. We can help you compare areas. We can help you with estimating monthly costs. We can help you with avoiding expensive surprises, and we can find the right fit for your lifestyle because we are relocation experts. We talk about the cities that we cover, but we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to Florida. It doesn't necessarily have to be to the beach, and we can refer somebody, and there's a very good chance I know somebody in the state that can help you directly. Actually, one of my best friends in the whole world. Somebody just reached out to us and said, hey, I'm looking in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm like, well, I have the best broker in all of Fort Lauderdale, and Andrew Edwards, and he worked with me and for a long time. He's a really good buddy of mine. I text him, I'm like, how busy are you? So we want to be a resource. That's our main thing. So I'm going to say it again. We get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that is 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach and surrounding area and just housing in general. Thanks for joining this. Bye.
Bye.